Today, he is an aerospace engineer. He's a math genius. I mean, he's incredible. But it is because he has been in environments where he was challenged.
That will lead me to the next question, but let you share about your two children first.
They don't like when I talk about them, and I never post anything about them on social media to respect them. But I think it's important in this case because I think your audience might be similar age to what they are. So they're 25 and 22, and they're also that age when they are wondering what to do with their lives. But they have discovered things that they love to do, and they're doing it very, very well. So it might be helpful to understand a little bit what I mentioned before, that when we do boring things, when we do things that are too easy, it can become boring. So when my oldest son was in 5th grade, he didn't do so well in math as we thought he would, because we had the feeling that he was very good at math. So we asked the teachers, could he please get into the more advanced math class? And the teachers were, well, he's not quite. Can you give it a try, please? And then he got into the more advanced math class, and then boom. Today he is an aerospace engineer. He's a math genius. I mean, he's incredible. But it is because he has been in environments where he was challenged. And I keep reminding him, remember, when you say things are boring, it's probably because they're too easy for you. And sometimes, we don't want to do difficult things all the time in life, but we want to recognize that what is it that feeds our desire. Now, if he were to do advanced math class because his parents told him, that would not be inspiring.
I agree.
It is because he wants to find out the solution to a math problem or whatever. So we never ever told him to do his homework. We wanted him to discover what he was capable of and be rewarded for it. So even if you say nice things about me, I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it because we want to recognize that and feel that, okay, maybe I do something good in life that's worth sharing or worth inspiring people, right? So he found a love in doing math and science, and he played computer games way too much, but I understand that that's also he has actually learned a lot from that. So as parents, we need to find out what inspires the kid. It's not going to be what I tell him. And of course, and for my youngest son now, he's also an engineer. He just graduated, but he wants to be a baseball player. But the reason he's so good at baseball is not because he's the fastest or the strongest. It's because that he can be so calm and cool in challenging situations on the field. When it's the most difficult situations in the field, that's when he becomes a winner. And even when he was 10 years old, coaches recognized that, and they want we want him on our team. He's a little guy, but he has this mind. So, the reason we see that is because he does not blame other people, yell and scream when things go bad, which many people do, because what is that? That's fear, right? When coaches yell and scream or at the umpire, they blame the umpire, they blame their teammates. That kind of thing is fear. So if we acknowledge instead, then, okay, I fear, but I don't have to lash out at other people because of that, then I can take a greater responsibility. And responsibility means to be able to have an ability to respond to a certain situation. And therefore he becomes a leader, not because he seeks attention, because he has that demeanor. And that's how you become a leader in business. That's how you become a leader in all kinds of situations. That's how you become a leader of your own life, that you recognize what's going on within you, and it's okay. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be sad. All emotions are okay, nothing wrong. But what can I do in this moment? And therefore, again, that's part of learning to love challenges.
I think this will be a very tough question for you. I'm going to give, but I would love to give because you love challenge. Imagine
I'm scared now.
That's what I love. When people tell me they love challenge, I would love to give them challenge. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will come back with you with another episode and another amazing guest. Bye.